Mm-hmm. 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 Nobody saw anything. But hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for over a year and counting, because that's right, the daily stream streak remains strong. I'm here to open my office doors for you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e., fandom. Either way, we are here for the next 2 to 3 hours. We'll see how we feel today, stream energy wise. But before we begin with the stream subject, allow me to start with a little bit of housekeeping. Reminder, Site 42 staff, we are sponsored, aka sponsoring, the upcoming SCP Containment Breach the movie, which has made a bit of a jump in the numbers, I am very happy to see. Let me make sure that refreshes. I like to see 42K, although I would very much like to see more funding. Almost 500 backers. Have you seen that we're going to have an SCP Foundation movie in theaters? Let's take a look. No, don't take over the facility. Hi, Zach. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And so, yes, remember Site 42 staff, SCP Containment Breach, the movie, is currently in its Kickstarter phase. If we get it funded, even to the minimum balance, then other investors may come in and help us to get this thing in theaters. I am currently helping as a consulting producer and have the opportunity to be on screen as Dr. Theron Sherman, but only if the movie gets funded. So, make sure if you are new to this information that you go to the Kickstarter for SCP Containment Breach the movie. For convenience sake, we have it linked in the Site42 support beacon, which is beacons.ai/Site42. It's not AI. It's just like Linktree. It's just a better Linktree. It's not AI. But beacons.ai/Site42. Go there. The link to the Kickstarter is first at the top because we always support the SCP Foundation's various projects. Kane Parsons got doxxed. Yeah. Intern Starblade. I am not sure what the hell that was about. That looks stupid. Also, just as someone who lives in California, just to let y'all know, $450,000 for a house in California in one of the nicer, not even nicer neighborhoods around here. Houses are just that expensive out here. So many houses are $1 million houses, and it's just a normal fucking house, like I grew up in Florida. Housing is just freaking expensive out here. So, I do not know what the New York Post deal is, except for I do. They're always terrible, and that's just what we have to deal with. Sorry, that happened to you, Kane. The Backrooms movie was pretty damn good. Also, for those of you looking at the SCP Containment Breach movie, remember, the trailer that you saw, as well as the 10-minute proof of concept, are a little bit tonally different from the true movie that Zach, the director of Keter Labs, wants to make. This actually is a point of contention I have with the production, which is, hey, why don't you make a trailer for the movie you want to make? But, you know, the trailer's a little bit campy, a little bit funny, but the actual movie is supposed to be a little bit darker, a little bit grimmer, a little more actual horror movie. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind while you are donating. But before I get to the donations and the general Q&A for the rest of the stream, let me tell you guys today's stream subject, which is quite simple. We're just going to go over it real quick. Today's stream subject is a reminder that right now we are in the midst of SCP Foundation's Wiki Pride Fest 2026. Pride Fest 2020. It's so strange. Every time I pull this up, it's the daytime image, and then when I show it to you guys, it's the nighttime image because they have two images. I don't know why. There it is. Daytime. The daytime is also very pretty. I didn't get to put that on stream yesterday. The daytime is also very pretty. Happy Pride. Now, as I said, we are not going to be reading all of the Pride Fest articles because we're still not even caught up with This Is My Jam Con. But, hey, you know what? We can still do it like a miniature book club. Did you read the tale from day one, Repulsion? Now remember, it's very adult content. So if you didn't read it because you were avoiding that, no problem. But for what it was pretty... Why do I have hiccups now? Suffice it to say, Repulsion was pretty good for what it was setting out to do. So I definitely gave that one an upvote. Also, hooray for asexual representation on the SCP database. Hell yeah. Don't fraternize with anomalies, especially if they are blood-sucking vampires. Bad for your health. And for morale. Now, day 2 is called One Side of an Interview with a Contained Anomaly by SCP author Merarab. Now, one side of an interview with a contained anomaly is exactly what it sounds like. You are reading one side of a conversation, specifically the words of the contained anomaly. You do not see the... What's the phrase I'm looking for? You do not get to see the researcher's side of the interview, which is used to create some distance and point of view sort of things. It's not bad. It's not bad. Go read it. You can tell me what you think about it tomorrow. But that is our mainstream subject of the day. We should, barring the donations going crazy, have time to go over the next article, and this is my JamCon finally. But we will see how that goes after I catch up with the donations that came in during the intro. Phil of November, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a California roll on your way past the commissary. I learned last night, watching a 3-month-old, that Neil Gaiman is making a comeback for his new book. I also learned an hour ago that Sandman is not original. I did know that Neil Gaiman is trying to make his way back into the public eye due to an upcoming book. And there's a lot of drama about that. I was never a huge reader of Neil Gaiman in the first place, so I kind of dodged the bullet in being a fan after all that BS. Not that I disliked his works, I just haven't read them. So, hey, at least my heart's not broken by the drama. Also, elaborate on what you mean Sandman is not original. I don't know what you mean by that. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some miso soup on your way past the commissary. You have the power of floof today. Yes, I hear that if I were in a dark world, I would be filled with the power of fluffy boys. Or something like that. I don't quite understand the concept. I heard you're now working for the SCP movie. Intern Starlight, you are correct. It has been announced that I am working as a consulting producer to help them get the movie made, to keep the story and the fandom intertwining well, and I will have an on-screen role, but only if the movie gets funded. So make sure you donate even $1 to getting that movie over its funding goal so we can successfully have an SCP movie in theaters. It's about time. It's only been about 20 years since SCP existed. Doc, I got a question. Is there still no pick for SCP-173? Intern Eggs. That is correct. When the picture was brought down for copyright purposes, the original author of 173 stated that they do not wish it to be replaced, and following the author's wishes, the article's not getting another photograph. But celebrating SCP-173 during that time, there became something called the Peanut Gallery. The SCP Peanut Gallery, otherwise known as the SCP-173 Redesign Hub, is dozens, if not over 100, iterations of SCP-173 created by multiple artists, both in and out of the SCP Foundation community. I do know that Trevor Henderson made a couple SCP-173s, as did Shen Comics. So, there's some very cool SCP-173s in the Peanut Gallery. SCP-173 redesign collection is what it's called. No, Collab Hub. SCP-173 redesign Collab Hub. So enjoy those non-peanut statues on your way. Returning to the chat. Intern Jaeger, thank you for sending 2 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Chat, you are now a 2-star team. I hope you work your way to 5 stars eventually. I believe in your ability to grow in the rankings. Fallen Libra, thank you for being an overseer here at Site 42 for 12 months. 1 year of leadership and helping us to win the battle against the White Name Curse. We thank you greatly for your leadership and service. 12-month streak. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, a 12-month streak. Intern Galaxy, you sent 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team, plus the previous 2. That means you guys are currently a 5-star team. You did it, and you did it so quickly today. Congratulations on being a 5-star ranked Containment Hazard Assessment team. And I'm sure no one will mess that up again. Captain Gilbert, thank you for your 5 months as a mobile task force captain here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Hey, I have 2 questions. How would you contain the minions considering their durability? And was Elias Shaw's ability originating from a cult? Due to the fact that Dr. Elias Shaw never got a proper backstory on the SCP database, I do not know what caused Shaw's original anomalous ability, unfortunately. Meanwhile, the minions, we would have to contain whatever villain they are following. That's easy enough. Amber, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they feel the love. Do do do. Do 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 do. Mobile Task Force Captain Lyris, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi, which, as we all know, only takes 3% of your donation as a service fee, while YouTube Super Chats gives YouTube 30% of every Super Chat so that YouTube can make their money. So we definitely appreciate you going around the system to donate and make your donation go further. Grab yourself a chicken katsu on your way past the commissary. Hello, I was wondering how or if the SCP Foundation would contain Lord English from Homestuck. So, Lyris, you're still into that Homestuck thing, I see. Show SCP-2721 Other Media. Little note to self there. First of all, interim Void Strider and Kid Flash, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thanks for subscribing. Also, I saw some other new interns. Interns Easton, Crimpy, and Gef's playing. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Now, about this Lord English. I am unfamiliar with Homestuck lore as someone who hasn't read it. What I do know is the pain of seeing bathtubs covered in gray body paint at the anime conventions I used to work at. Yeesh. Lord English is an indestructible, all-powerful demon summoned at the end of the universe, although his time travel abilities allow him to appear prior to his actual summoning. Though the demon's true form is an amalgam of various powerful and identities, he was originally the cherub Caliborn, who obtained unlimited power and unconditional immortality by clearing a dead session of the game. I don't know what that means. As a result, he apparently cannot be destroyed by ordinary means, but only through the exploitation of a number of time-based glitches and loopholes. He is the leader of the Felt on Alternia. This is not making any sense at all. Vriska describes English as the big bad, saying English was the guy who stacked the whole deck against us from the start. Blah, 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 blah. Overall main antagonist. Relations. Attributes. Big, hulking cherub, musculature. Cairo overcoat space-time continuum. Gets damaged when time-related things get out of hand. Backup coat that may or may not possess the same abilities. Can turn into a sarcophagus, which allows the entity to travel through time. Time travel, as well as teleportation, are, of course, the most annoying powers. But I'm sure the Temporal Anomalies Department has something to do with this. I see the author of the comic is making a lot of lore drops outside of the comic, of course. Yes, if this entity existed in the SCP universe with this kind of OP powers, it would end up sitting in a containment cell, monologuing about how cool it is and how it only stays with us because it finds us entertaining in between its next battle with the heroes of fate. Blah, 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 blah. Very SCP-343 coded. Tagged Doge, thank you for sending a gold coin to Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I'm sure they'll spend it wisely. And SCP-953, thank you for sending 1 star to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team, who are now a 1-star rated Containment Hazard Assessment Team again. I look forward to seeing if you can surpass your limitations and become 5-star ranked again. Dr. Sherman, have you heard of Lobotomy Corporation? I have heard its name, but I have not ever played it. I just know it's an SCP-like intellectual property. Tagadoge, thank you for sending 2 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Now you guys are a 3-star team. You're moving up in the world. Good job. Sir, are we all going to die? Well, Intern Yeltsa, unless you are some sort of immortal anomaly, we all die sometime. Intern Kaden, thank you for sending a flow state to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Perhaps they will finally lock in. Fingers crossed. Thanks to denial, I am immortal. I mean, desk, on one hand, yes, but also, how many times have you had a leg or a drawer or a surface replaced? Are you truly immortal, or are you a ship of Theseus of different parts by now? An interesting conundrum. Philip November, thank you for donating again to Say. Extra History made a YouTube short about Neil taking a lot of inspiration from another series written by Tanith Lee, who wrote Tales of the Flat Earth 9 years before Sandman's appearance. I'll post the link on Discord. Interesting. Now, it is important to pay attention that inspiration and originality, ideas, that's a sticky line to say something's not original because it takes inspiration for something. Let's not go terribly far. Although, again, I haven't actually seen the short you're speaking of, therefore, I do not know how close these things are. Get your ship of Theseus nonsense out of here. Puppet Boy, never. A ship of Theseus is always a fun thing to bring into conversation, piece by piece. I remember watching WandaVision and being excruciatingly disappointed by the big final laser battle in the sky. And then I watched the 2 visions get into a theoretical debate about the philosophy of the ship of Theseus. And I was like, see, this is television. So I got a little bit of good, a little bit of bad out of that one. Dagged Doge, thank you for sending clutch to the chat. I am sure they will come in clutch for whatever scenario comes forth today. Dr. Sherman, do you have any actual lore for your character? I've always wondered that. Intern Angelo. The lore of Dr. Sherman is particularly murky because I exist on YouTube with a 10-year backlog of videos, and alongside the there is no canon status of the SCP Foundation, I have made several shorts and videos from different multiversal planes where the Dr. Shermans are slightly different. Therefore, there are things that are consistent between all Dr. Shermans, but there's also some radically different iterations. The best thing you can do is look at the SCP Wiki mentions of Dr. Sherman, as well as the videos you have seen, and pick or choose your favorite pieces of lore. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, I was here early enough to see you drop the pen. I don't remember dropping my pen. Were you sure you weren't watching a different stream? Maybe YouTube has a pre-stream where there's some sort of different person or something? I don't know. Maybe you're just watching a video before this one. Intern Cool Creeper, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. There's an allosexual Dr. Theron Sherman somewhere in the multiverse. I fear him. Allosexual. I don't actually know what that categorization is off the top of my head. I've heard the word. I just don't know what it means. I am currently confused. But rather than look it up, I will wait for someone to describe it in the chat, because I'm sure you guys got my back. Ace of Luck, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Get yourself a Klondike bar on your way past the commissary. I mentioned Danhausen before. I forgot to add something. He cursed the Cavaliers, and I think we all know what happened at the Knicks game. I am not a basketball watcher, so I do not know the full situation regarding the playoffs that are currently... Are they ongoing? Have they started? Are they in progress? What I do know is that Mayor Zoran Mamdani's anti-bedtime proclamation was not just to celebrate the Knicks getting into the playoffs. There was also some behind-the-scenes machinations in agreement with the foundation so that we can get more children, aka the orphan children or even the orphans, for more D-class. We need more child D-class to test with the anomalies that only work on children. So, thanks, Zoran. Appreciate it. TLDR on Danhausen in the back channels. Thank you, Desk, for the intel. He's like a kid-friendly Undertaker from Saturday morning cartoons. One of his abilities is to give curses, which always work in kayfabe. IRL, however, he did a bit where he cursed the Cavs, and they haven't won a game yet. It's very lucky for the gimmick. All right. We might have to bring this Danhausen in. That does seem rather anomalous to me. We better keep a lookout. Intern Guskeling, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go ahead and get yourself a omelette de fromage on your way past the commissary. If you were to photocopy the Book of Many Diseases, or whatever it's called, could you read the copied version and not get set disease? Well, after the paranoia and insanity that took place as it was handed around on site previously, we have buried that thing in a cement block, and we are leaving it where it is. So the answer to your question is we're not going to try it. Good to finally meet you in person, Doctor. I look forward to possibly working with you. Well, Intern Taylor, I hope you do good work, rise through the ranks of the Foundation, and make a name for yourself here. Allosexual is an umbrella term for individuals who regularly experience sexual attraction to others. I see. So, gay, lesbian, heterosexual, these are bisexual, etc. These are all in the allosexual umbrella as opposed to asexual. I see. Okay. Good to know. Yes, I have heard through the winds that there are some non-asexual, or as I guess it's called, allosexual iterations of myself in the multiverse. I fear what they can do with their devilish good looks and sweet, sweet dance moves. It's probably not going well in their universities. Dr. Sherman, have you looked at Google Trends to see how the SCP movie is doing? Intern Tinfoil. I haven't. And also, I don't actually know how to utilize Google Trends. Let me just do Google Trends and see what I find. Google Trends. Search. Search. Explore what the world is searching for right now. SCP, Containment Breach, the movie. Explore. That is a very, 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 very low zero number. What if I search for Keter Labs? Does that do better? They had one spike of 100 views at 3:24 a.m. my time zone. So I guess someone internationally, a group of internationals, did a look. Huh, your search doesn't have enough data to show anywhere. Disgusting. We need to share the movie more. OP, why is your skin so bad? Intern Slap Choppa, my skin is fabulous. But I do have rosy cheeks like Santa Claus. But unlike that son of a bitch, the 6 of which are in containment, I'm not locked up for being anomalous. Ha! Wait, we found a 6th? Did we find a 6th? I thought we only had 5 in containment. Did I say 6? I meant Gzi for 6. I got the numbers mixed up. We only have 5 Santas in containment. 6 Gzi. Cringe AF. Intern Choppa, you're still here watching. The only thing cringe here is your inappropriate and rude behavior. If you're going to act like a child, we're going to silence you. Actually, we already have, so, bye. Why is there a crying guy in the break room? Intern T-Bone, this is a very stressful job. Crying in the break room is kind of the status quo around the Foundation. Intern Blue Lock and Intern Asher. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Just a Factory, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member, and thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi as well. Grab yourself a chimichurri steak on your way past the commissary. If someone's only anomalies were immortality and invincibility, how long do you think it would take for it to be found out? Do you think they would be contained or recruited as a researcher / security team member? So first and foremost, how does their aging work? Immortality in relation to aging can be a tricky game, because if your body still ages, then that makes it very difficult to find you because you're aging like everyone else, at least until you age old enough to be a very broken individual with very slop organs and body and still alive somehow. The End of Death canon is a terrifying universe in the Foundation. Everything about End of Death, I hate it. Go read it because it's terrifying. But the next question is if they are going to stay in peak physical condition because of their combination of invincibility and immortality, that would then lead us to how well can they hide from us? Because as long as they don't do anything big and boisterous and eye-catching, if they live like a normal civilian and they don't happen to stay in one place too long, it would be very hard to identify them. Now, you would, over time, have harder and harder time hiding yourself, even if you were clever about it, because of the proliferation of surveillance technology. If you consider the Doctor Who episode where there's a fan club of people who are Doctor Who hunters because they are looking for the Doctor and they notice the Doctor in a photo from blank and then this photo from decades ago and this photo, blah, 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 blah. Once we get to that point, we would have a much easier time hunting down. And then, yes, we would keep them in containment unless they were loyal enough and proved their loyalty to work for us. What am I looking at here? Intern Harris, thank you for sending a GOAT trophy to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I am sure the Containment Hazard Assessment Team is proud to be some bad bitches. Philo November, thank you for donating again to say. I'm making cheese from scratch. It's been a learning process, especially when I took a bit from Jesus to find out what I wanted to try out first. Did you taste Jesus? Why? Why? Gross. What did it taste like? SCP-131, is it all right to pick up SCP-131? Intern Hermes, as long as you are kind to the iPods, they should not have any harm with being picked up. They seemingly act analogous in behavior to kittens, so just be friendly with them. Doc, do you think that SCP-920 can walk into the back rooms by accident because we are trying to contain him? Intern Sally, Junior Researcher Sally, sorry. Good to see you. It's been a while, Junior Researcher Sally. So first and foremost, a reminder, anomalies are objects, not people. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. SCP-920, Mr. Lost. Inability to control its own movements and instead will wander about, being unable to choose a destination. Well, I mean, Mr. Lost seemingly can wander all over the place, so I wouldn't be shocked if Mr. Lost ended up in the back rooms among every other place it could end up. But not impossible? Junior Researcher Sally, what do you mean, but not impossible? What's like a 0.00001% chance of no clipping into the back rooms? Well, that's true for anybody, not just Mr. Lost. If anything, I think it's more likely that Mr. Lost accidentally ambles up to an async door into the back rooms and then wanders in because they can't stop it. How is there beauty in this world? I just had to freaking do the hardest crap imaginable to subvert a prophecy from the ones above. Well, that happens a lot. And yet, even when we work our hardest, there's beauty in the effort. And then we reap the rewards of our success, which in many cases are beautiful. Can we put Jeff in the back room? Can we put Jeff in the back rooms? Yes, desk, but Jeff would then easily find its way out. It's Jeff, bro. How do you even pronounce that? What is Jeff? Geoff is one pronunciation of one spelling of the word Jeff, as in Jeffrey. Jeff is a different pronunciation, but they're both Jeff. And Jeff is SCP-008-J, who we're not even sure is actually anomalous, but the circumstantial evidence of Jeff successfully escaping custody as well as the dangerous anomalies that Jeff encounters is why we are curious to the scenario. Can I put my office in the back rooms? No, junior researcher Sally, because Async will not let us in there. They are very, very stingy and bogarting the anomaly. Very rudely. Phil of November, thank you for donating again. This time, thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi. When I ate him, he tasted like queso. Now Jesus loves me inside and out. All right, so queso is just Spanish for cheese, right? Does it have a particular connotation? Or is queso just Spanish for cheese? Yes, because the thing is, we do know that Jesus, SCP-6542, is just mozzarella or provolone. So it's not like it's a seasoned cheese. It's very bland cheeses. Affleck, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a red hot chili pepper on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, first of all, I'm here to shill a game called Gravity Circuit, which is free on Steam, not affiliated. So, a non-sponsored sponsorship. I don't know what a Gravity Circuit is, but it is recommended by Affleck. Secondly, is the world going beautiful? I'm fine with this. No, no, no. The world is beautiful, but it has not gone beautiful. Those are two very different terminologies. We are not being SCP-001 right now, to my knowledge. Dr. Sherman, which Jesus do you think would win in a Jesus six-way brawl? Well, Jim Davis, creator of Garfield Jesus, SCP-7966. Is it 7166 or 7966? I think it's 7966. Regardless, Jim Davis, creator of Jesus, Garfield Jesus, is just Jim Davis, not like with any anomalous abilities to our knowledge, besides being the second coming of Jesus. Now, Bread Jesus has healing abilities, but we've easily destroyed Bread Jesus before. Vor Jesus teleports, making it iffy, but it also doesn't engage in combat, so it's not winning any fights. Milk Jesus will drown a bitch in milk. Milk Jesus will flood the area with milk, causing drowning. So that makes 6542 a real contender. Cockblock Jesus is literally in a coma and just has a ghost projection, so not very useful in combat, except for going boo. So 4477 isn't winning any fights. Honestly, before I started going over this, Uber driver Jesus would have been my pick, if only because SCP-029-J has a sweet, sweet ride and can run you over Asgore style. But that doesn't work very well when Milk Jesus floods the battlefield. Although, the Jesus Mobile might be able to survive a flood. So, honestly, I think it's going to be Uber driver Jesus. Because Uber driver Jesus' ride, I mean, if Jesus can walk on water, obviously Jesus' sweet ride can drive on water / milk. Driving in my ride on top of your milk, putting tire tracks on your golden silk. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, can Jesus walk on milk? I think that is pretty straightforwardly yes. I haven't seen it, but I'm just going to guess. All right, Site 42 staff, I have a wellspring of energy today. I think we are going to take the opportunity to take a look at the next This Is My Jam Con for today's stream. I know it's a little long. I probably rushed through a little bit of it, but hey, let's play with it. So, the next place winner in the list of This Is My Jam Con that we ran down is SCP-9270, codename Volvere Aunque Me Borren. I did my best with the language there. And the content warning for this article, content warnings for suicidality, no, actually just suicide, gaslighting, and mental illness. So, since this is a longer article, as is protocol here, we will run down the article in sections, and we will break for Q&A in the middle. Let's have a run. Oh, and by the way, since this is my JamCon again, I don't even know what that means. So, song guesses at the start don't help me. I do wonder if I will get a clue for the song guess as we read. We will see what happens. What them numbers again? That would be 9270, desk. 9270. Item number SCP-9270. Classification level 5. Top secret. Object class Thaumiel. Disruption class Amida. Special containment procedures. 9270 is installed within Area 34, sublevel 39. Access is restricted to personnel possessing level 4 clearance or above. Then why is it level 5 classified? Dr. Sherman, we can't be reading this. Well, I can because I'm level 4. But you guys, in the name of this briefing, I am gifting you guys classification level with the knowledge that you will be amnesticized at the end of the briefing. That way you do not recall what we have gone over. You'll still get the lesson, but not the knowledge. 9270 is kept isolated from all external networks. All interactions with 9270 are to be done through hardline terminals with one-way data input protocols. Sublevel 39 is to be fully outfitted with Latulu noospheric dampeners. Direct visual observation is prohibited during activation. This is very complicated. Activation 9270 requires approval of the O5 Council, current Director of Department of Anomalous Weapons Development, and the Ethics Committee. Anomalous Weapons Department, okay. All proposed activations are to include full documentation of the target's identity, including full legal name, biometric data, and at least 3 justifications for targeting. Unauthorized use of 9270 is considered grounds for termination. Oh my. This is a hell of a weapon we've got hidden here. Following activation, all known records containing references to the target are to be reviewed and updated to ensure full erasure. This includes, but is not limited to, digital archives, physical documentation, and audiovisual media. Personnel assigned to review are to undergo standard class B amnestic treatment within 48 hours. Knowledge of SCP-9270-ERR is restricted to the 9270 research team. Description: SCP-9270 is an eigenweapon developed by the Foundation. Eigenweapon is a fancy term for anomalous weapon, by the way. Measuring approximately 2.4 meters by 1.8 meter by 1.6 meter. Very specific measurements, okay, weird. Composed of interlocking metallic components, analog input interfaces, and organic material interlaced throughout its internal source. 9270 is continually operational despite the lack of a power source. 9270 is capable of erasing individuals from consensus reality. Targets are removed from physical reality with memories and records manipulated to omit them. This process is not instantaneous nor complete in its erasure, with activation ending after 72 hours. 9270 operates by locking onto an individual's noospheric signature. From there, it locates and deletes any related nodes from the noosphere and alters reality to remove any evidence of their former existence. Footnote, and for those who are unaware, the noosphere is a conceptual space consisting of the totality of human knowledge and thought. If you astral project, this is the plane of all human knowledge. As a safety precaution, any nodes deleted from the noosphere are copied into 9270 storage prior to deletion. These nodes can be accessed and interfaced within a chamber attached to 9270. The first version of 9270 was developed in 1951 by Olaf Lunden, the founding director of the Department of Anomalous Weapons Development. This initial version functioned by modifying past events to avoid the birth of the target. While effective, this method resulted in cascading effects and unforeseen consequences. The current means of erasure was developed in 1963. Since then, 9270 has been continuously modified and updated by AWD. So we made something that could retroactively erase you from existence in time, and then we have since improved upon it and minimalized the unintended consequences. I'm going to read one more section, then we'll move into general Q&A for a small break. Addendum 92701, Execution Logs. 9270 has been used by the Foundation to erase individuals deemed to be security risks, destabilizers, or otherwise antagonistic towards Foundation operations. Sounds like what we do. Due to the incomplete nature of 9270's erasure, it has been also almost exclusively used against individuals of little notoriety. So we can't get rid of the president with this anomaly, which sucks. It would be really nice if we could use SCP-9270 to get rid of SCP-5004-B, wouldn't it? As of 2026, 9270 has been activated 48 times. Below is a curated selection of past targets. Note that due to the effects of 9270, limited information is available on these targets. A full list of targets is available upon request from the director of AWD. Let's see who we've been erasing from existence. Also, just real quick, intern Dennis and CJ, welcome to Site42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. All right, so the -1 designation of deletion. Identifier, codename Rebel. Date, May 3rd, 1951. Rebel was commander of a Foundation mobile task force. At some point in the 1920s, Rebel and their task force defected from the Foundation, taking over several Foundation sites and contained anomalies. Rebel continued to conduct raids on Foundation assets for several decades. At the direction of 051, Rebel was selected as the test target for the initial version of 9270. While successfully erasing them, the use of 9270 led to several consequences. And the consequences links to the Chaos Insurgency Hub. So, what did we do? Oh boy. The -3 person we deleted from existence is identified as codename Planter, as deleted on September 12th, 1964. Planter disseminated anomalous agriculture techniques in redacted Brazil. The introduction of these techniques resulted in greater crop yields and reduced dependence on external supply chains. 9270 was activated following identification of economic disruption affecting Foundation-aligned interests in the region. Cool. We're doing good old American colonialism as the Foundation. Reminder that we do things for the greater good, even if they are bad. Staff. The -7 entity was codenamed Breaker. On March 27, 1971, Breaker was a member of Group of Interest 008, codename Miracle Liberation Front, operating in and around Oaxaca, Mexico. Oaxaca? I don't know how to pronounce that word. My Spanish is bad. Heathen American. I do my best. Breaker engaged in interceptions of Foundation convoys and the theft of SCP objects. 9270 was activated to prevent further operational disruption. So someone stealing our convoys. Site 42 staff, we now have to take a mandatory break because Puppy of Interest 42 has arrived. Baby girl, I cannot pick you up if you roll.
She goes in crab mode. You can't get me.
Puppy of Interest 42 has arrived from her field mission. She is here to be the sweetest pumpkin at Site 42 and to say hello to the Chathams. And Agent Charlemagne is following in her wake.
He was accidentally detained.
Accidentally detained? Oh, did he? He locked himself in again? Clever boy. I say derogatorily. Puppy of Interest 42, here is a delightful treat for you. And here is the face of a prison baby. Or the back of the head of a prison baby. Uninterested in being on camera.
All better.
The Super Baby Twins. All right, get the sweetie pumpkins out of here. We're doing anomalous weapons research. Very dangerous for children.
Do not give Charlemagne weapons.
I would never. For my allergies. And let us continue our research. SCP-9270-8 is codename Printer. Deleted from existence on November 10th, 1983. Printer produced and distributed texts that contained memetic agents that increased the viewer's resistance to other memetic agents. These materials interfered with Foundation containment protocols. 9270 was activated to prevent further dissemination. So yes, this weapon is being very much used almost solely for people who are a thorn in our side. Interesting. Oh boy. -16, codename Pledge. On June 14th, 1994, Codename Pledge was a student protest organizer at Deer College, 3 Portlands. Activities included distributing anti-Foundation flyers and coordinated demonstrations against Foundation and Unusual Incidents Unit presence within 3 Portlands. 9270 was activated to prevent an escalation in civil unrest. Cool. We are erasing protesters, college protesters from existence. Are we really sure this was a necessary use of the giant erase from reality button? Dash 27, codename Medic, deleted from existence on July 31st, 2005. A former member of the Foundation's medical department, Medic established an independent clinic in Medellin, Colombia. Despite standard exit protocols, Medic retained knowledge of anomalous medical practices and incorporated these into treatment. 9270 was activated following unauthorized clinical activity. To be fair, I don't care if you're retired, don't spread Foundation secrets. Codename Hugger is candidate 38, deleted from reality on January 5th, 2018. Hugger was identified as a member of Group of Interest 019, Serpent's Hand, involved in civilian relocation and anomalous safe houses. 9270 was activated to prevent further interference with containment procedures. The Serpent's Hand's Underground Railroad for anomalies. I can see why we deleted that guy from reality. Man, having access to this anomaly is kind of like having access to the Death Note. It makes getting rid of your adversaries really easy. Shockingly so. Candidate 40, codename Instigator, on December 1st, 2021. Codename Instigator coordinated labor organization within Redacted. Activities resulted in temporary disruption of Foundation logistical operations. 9270 was activated to prevent further interference. We erased a labor organizer from existence because it was messing with logistics. That's things like toilet paper shipments. And I can see in 2021 that being kind of important. There was a lack, but really, labor organized? I am loyal to the Foundation. I am loyal to the Foundation. Candidate 48, codename Error, deleted on Valentine's Day 2025. See addendum 9270-2. I'm wondering if Valentine's Day has any significance there. I'm a little worried that it does. But we're just going to have to wait for a moment because we're going to take a break to check on the chat. 100 stars. Thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I believe that makes you guys a 4-star team again. You're almost a 5-star team. Congratulations, you're almost there. Intern Kevin, thank you for sending a flow state to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will lock in as we continue this reading. I think I saw a Ko-Fi notification too. Let me double check. Chester Factory, thank you for donating to the Ko-Fi again. Is Jeff sort of like SCP-682, where it's not what would a situation capture or kill them, it's how they would escape, where would they show up next? That's exactly correct, Chester Factory. SCP-008-J, you don't write how you would trap Jeff. You write how Jeff gets out of every situation unscathed. I'm so sorry, but quick question about the Fan Art Friday rules. Can you draw like OCs with the Dr. Sherman? Junior Researcher Sally, yes, that is allowed. The rules are drawing just your OC. That's not an SCP Foundation or Site 42 fan art. But drawing yourself with Dr. Sherman, now it's Site 42 fan art. I worry that the error one is going to be the reason for one of the trigger warnings here. Puppet Boy, I worry about that too. I'm wondering if someone deleted the rival suitor for the object of their affection from reality in order to corner the markets. I'm worried if there was a bad breakup on Valentine's Day and it ended up deleting a spurned person deleted the other person from reality. I'm very worried about how this is going to go. And in fact, why don't we go into the next addendum to see what the hell happened there? Addendum 2, the 9270-ERR. Dash 48 was designated for removal on Valentine's Day 2025. Surviving records indicate that Dash 48 was a Costa Rican civilian, informally associated with a para-revolutionary network in the Central Valley region. While no direct anomalous activity is attributed to Dash 48, Foundation documentation cites major involvement in the coordination of mutual aid efforts, secure transportation of persons of interest, and the distribution of anti-Foundation materials among veiled populations. Dash ERR designates a failure state in which an individual targeted by 9270 can continue to exist. To date, Dash ERR has only been observed in the case of Dash 48. A year after Dash 48 was erased, her ex-wife showed signs of incomplete suppression. Oh boy. So we did. So this says that someone can continue to exist. And then we say a year after we erase them, there was incomplete suppression. What does that mean? Did it fail to erase them or are they still there? Surveillance log. A restaurant in San Jose, Costa Rica. Subject, Dr. Alma Saez and Leah Curbelo. Footnote. Dr. Alma Saez is a Foundation researcher stationed at Area 34. Of note is her work in noospheric imaging, which indirectly led to further refinement of 9270's targeting system. Date, May 13th, 2026. Begin excerpt. The pair sat at a table at a restaurant. The two are quietly eating their food. Leah clears her throat. So, you never told me what you did for work. Sorry, Leah speaks first. Now Dr. Alma. Sorry, the waiter came and I completely forgot. I work at the Fuerza Publica. Not as an officer, but more like a technician. Busy work. Footnote. The Public Force, Costa Rica's national law enforcement agency. Foundation personnel in Costa Rica are advised to use it as a cover story. Too busy for partners? Oh, no. Dr. Saez pauses and begins rubbing her ring finger. I had an ex-wife? Really? You don't sound so sure. Did the two of you end things well, or? I don't know. God, this is embarrassing. I should know this. I think it was messy. Hey, if you don't remember it that well, it probably wasn't that bad. Yeah, I guess, but, what about you? Any exes I should know about? Cabello begins talking about a bus driver she had dated. Dr. Saez seems uninterested, continuing to rub her bare ring finger. End excerpt. Similar interactions were recorded over the following month with increasing frequency and duration. Authorization was granted to the 9270 research team to initiate expanded surveillance of Dr. Saez with the goal of determining the cause of 9270-ERR. So it seems that our Dash 48 may have been married to a Foundation researcher. There's another surveillance log. Let's keep going. Living quarters of Area 34. Subject is just Dr. Alma Saez. June 3rd, 2026. So, weeks later. Dr. Saez is seated at a desk with her within her assigned quarters. A terminal is active with multiple overlapping windows. Each displays a different iteration of her personnel records. No, that's not right. She scrolls. A blank section flickers intermittently. There should be. Someone was here. She pauses. She rubs her ring finger with her thumb. She begins typing into the SkipNet search bar. No. The input field resets without user input. Dr. Saez leans back and exhales sharply. I don't even know your name. Dr. Saez abruptly straightens, scanning the room. She shakes her head and turns back to the terminal. 5 days later, sub-level 3 of Area 34, another surveillance log. Dr. Saez is speaking with a Dr. Summers. Summers speaks first. So if the cut is clean, there shouldn't be any residual linkage. That's the whole point of Alma. Dr. Saez stops walking. She turns around slightly, looking over her shoulder. The corridor between them is empty. Did you hear that? Hear what? Someone said my name. There's no one else. Oh no. Oh no. I thought that was sus. I thought that was sus. I saw a gap. And I was like, what do you mean there's a gap? Ah! Ah! Ghost voice! Ghost voice! Someone said my name. There's no one else here, Alma. Alma. There, again, right there. I didn't hear anything. Are you okay? Dr. Sayers hesitates and resumes walking. Dr. Severs gives her a concerned look before catching up to her. Dr. Sayers' left hand remains clenched. Oh boy. Oh, we got scroll over text. Secret messages in the surveillance logs. So now if I start doing the ghost voice, now you know that I'm scrolling over something secret. Living quarters, area 34. Next surveillance log is a week later. Dr. Saez is the only one here. Low light recording Dr. Saez lying in bed awake, laying on her back, looking straight up at the ceiling. 12 silent seconds pass. This is stupid. She shifts, turning on to one side. I'm waiting for nothing. Pause. If you're real, then nothing in the blank slot. There's a blank slot, but nothing shows up. Then just do something. 5 seconds pass. An indentation appears on the mattress behind Dr. Saez. Thermal imaging registers a heat signature. Dr. Saez stiffens. Okay. Her breathing becomes shallow. She does not turn around, her eyes trained on the wall in front of her. Okay. 9 seconds pass. I don't remember your face. Unidentified voice appears again. Disappearing text. That's okay. I forgot it too. Dr. Saez begins to quietly sob. End log. Location of the next surveillance log. A cafe in San Jose, Costa Rica. Dr. Saez and Leah Curbelo are meeting again. This is another 5 days later. Begin excerpt. Dr. Saez and Curbelo are seated across from one another. Curbelo speaks first. And then she just missed the stop entirely. I had to... Alma. Dr. Saez is looking at the empty chair beside Curbelo. Curbelo reaches over and takes Saez's hand. Sorry, Did you just move that? Move what? The adjacent chair shifts 3 centimeters across the floor. Curbelo jumps in her seat. Okay, no. You saw that too, right? Saez does not respond. Her gaze still on the chair. You always sit there. What? No, I don't. Not you. Silence. Alma, who are you talking to? Dr. Saez slowly reaches out. Her hand stops midair, fingers curling slightly as if making contact with an unseen surface. Her heart rate quickens. I see you. Curbelo stands up, grabbing her bag. I think you need to talk to someone. Dr. Saez does not respond. Curbelo scoffs and leaves. End log. Therapy session. Psych eval suite area 34 between Dr. Alma Saez and Dr. Akabi Haik. Dr. Saez is seated across from Dr. Haik. The recording device is active on the table between them. Haik speaks first. For the record, this is session 1 following Dr. Alma Saez's referral. I am Dr. Akabi Haik. Alma, do you understand why you've been referred to me? Because I'm hearing things. That's one way to put it. I'd prefer if we stayed away from definitive language for now. A couple of your colleagues have contacted me with concerns about you. Dr. Haik grabs a sheaf of papers and flips through it. They've all reported odd behavior from you. You've been ignoring them and saying you're, quote, hearing something. Can you describe what you've been experiencing? Pause. Dr. Saez looks down at her hands. It's not just hearing. It's remembering. Except I don't have anything to remember. Dr. Haik nods, writing on her notepad. You mentioned in your intake report that you believe you were previously married. I didn't write believe. I said I was. And yet you cannot recall a name, a face, or anything about your spouse. Yeah. Then what makes you certain? Because I miss her. That's a very real feeling. Dr. Haik sets the notepad aside. Missing someone doesn't always require clear memories. Sometimes it's more like an outline. A lot of people miss their dead parents even if they died when they were young. You feel the shape of something that isn't there anymore. Dr. Saez lets out a small breath. That's exactly it. When did this start? I don't know. A few weeks ago? Maybe longer. It's hard to tell. Has it been getting, I don't know, stronger? Dr. Saez nods. At first, it was just thoughts, like something on the tip of my tongue. But now, take your time. Now it feels like she's close. Dr. Haik remains calm, though her expression tightens slightly. Close how? Dr. Saez glances briefly toward the corner of the room, then back down. Like she's standing next to me. Or behind me. I don't... I know how that sounds. It sounds like you're under a lot of stress. That's common here in Area 34. Have you been working longer hours than usual? No more than normal. I checked your file, but just to be sure. No one in your family has any history of mental illness? No aunts, uncles you might have forgotten? No, we've all been pretty okay. Sleeping yet? Less? Yes. That can definitely intensify these kind of experiences, especially when there's something unresolved. Dr. Sayers nods slowly but does not look convinced. It's not just stress. Okay. Dr. Haik leans forward slightly, tone softening. What makes you say that? Because she talks to me. What does she say? Not much, just my name sometimes. Invisible text. Alma. Dr. Sayers' eyes flick slightly to the side. Did you hear it just now? Yes. And you recognize the voice? I think so. Does it feel familiar? It feels important. Dr. Haik nods slowly. Okay, thank you for telling me that, Alma. I want to try something simple. Not to prove or disprove anything, just to help you stay grounded when this happens. Okay. Can you tell me 5 things you can see right now? Ah, someone's been to therapy. Dr. Sayers frowns and looks around the room. There's a typo here, desk. On this line of it, they're missing the opening fragment of the stage direction. If you can fix that real quick. Anyways, Dr. Sayers says, the table, your notepad, the recorder, the door, the... Dr. Sayers pauses. The what? Dr. Sayers continues staring toward an empty space beside the door. Nothing. The recorder registers a third source of breathing. Faint, but distinct. Well, that's all right. You're doing fine. Dr. Sayers nods, though her attention remains divided. We don't need to figure everything out today. What matters is that you're safe and that we understand what you're feeling. You said earlier that you miss her. Does it feel like she's gone? Or like she's out of reach? Dr. Sayez's expression shifts slightly. Out of reach. Unidentified voice. I'm trying. Dr. Sayez closes her eyes briefly. Dr. Hike makes a small note. Okay, then maybe we can focus on that feeling. Not forcing anything, pardon me, or letting it exist without fighting it. Dr. Hike extends a hand, offering a reassuring smile. One step at a time. Dr. Sayez nods. Okay. End log. Despite several weeks of continuous surveillance, no source of -ERR could be identified. Focus shifted from understanding -ERR to suppressing it. End of addendum. Before moving on to addendum 3, that thing was pretty long. We're going to move back to chat for a little bit. We are currently about halfway through the article, so we're making good progress. All right, catching up with the donations I missed. DJ, thank you for sending a clutch. The Good Name and Hazard Assessment team. I am sure it will come in clutch at the right moment. Intern Galanes, thank you for sending a flower to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they find it very pretty. And earlier was spelled wrong too. Good eyes, Tarleton. I think I missed that. I definitely missed that. So this is a ghost wife thing type thing going on. Intern HCD, that seems to be what we're going on with. As no, if it's a ghost of erased people from existence, we're a bit iffy on what that ghost situation is, but we're working on it. Also, thanks to the inclusion of almost 0 men in this article so far, this article both passes the Bechdel test and is there also gay as hell, which makes it appropriate for Pride Month. So congratulations, chat. Happy Pride. Intern Frost, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a snow cone on your way past the commissary. Groundhog Day was sent to rehab and doing great. By the way, hi. Well, I'm glad to hear the groundhog is doing well, and I hope you are too, and hello. Fallen Libra, thank you for sending a doubloon to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure that they will spend it wisely. What is the Bechdel test? Chester Factory, the Bechdel test. Now, it's gotten a lot of rap because people take it way more seriously than they should. But as a piece of very light popcorn feminist analysis of media, if a piece of media has 2 women in it and they discuss something and they held a whole conversation that does not include talking about a man, then this piece of media passes the Bechdel test. With as male focused as a lot of media is, and how women are written in media to be the object of desire, the focus of a male character, or their motivations, but not characters and human beings in and of themselves, the Bechdel test is a silly look. These women don't even care about anything except the man in the story. So to pass the Bechdel test, your story has to have 2 women in it, and they talk about something other than a guy. It's not serious, but it is just something you can keep in mind for funsies. It's because women are people now. That they are, Desk. That they are. Those women do be people. Anyways, holy cow, the likes. Oh, congratulations, chat. You've almost got double the likes to viewer ratio. Now, I wonder if you can hit that marker. Would be very impressive if you did. Either way, you did get more likes and viewers, and that is important to bringing our stream to more people on the SCP algorithm. That way, more people can learn about the Foundation properly, can enjoy some cool stories, and help us make SCP movies and games and things like that. So thank you for hitting that like button. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. I'm a ace binosaur. Rar, lol, I'll leave. Happy roaring to you. Dr. Sherman, I think I misunderstood you at the start of stream, but you mentioned Keter Labs possibly remaking the trailer. No, they are not remaking the trailer. What I said at the beginning of stream is that Keter Labs, the creators of Containment Breach the movie, when they made their 10-minute live-action proof of concept, it came out sillier and jokier than the actual movie is going to be. When they talk about what they want the movie to be, they cite inspirations like The Thing or Alien when it comes to a horror atmosphere. Now, that Containment Breach the movie proof of concept, the 10-minute trailer, is very comical and very colorful. So I feel like, so no, they're not changing anything. I'm just saying it does make it a little harder to market the movie when what they're selling is not quite what is on the billboard. And I would say that that might be driving kind of a difficulty in getting the Kickstarter funded because people see this very colorful, goofy SCP Foundation, which, trust me, I enjoy goofs and stuff like that. I would love a funny SCP movie. But a lot of SCP fans, especially the casual ones, they're more focused on the very horror-centric. And so it might be a tougher sell. Oh yeah, I got a Site 42 bingo just now, hell yeah. The bingo game continues, I see. Amber, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member and making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself a cherry Danish on your way past the commissary. There's an OK Go song called Return that has this line. The worst of it is now I can't remember your face. And I think it could be an SCP song. I like OK Go, but I haven't heard that track. But it is very thematic to what we're dealing with right now. Where are the bingo cards? If you are a member of the Site 42 Discord server, someone a long time ago shared bingo cards in there. I am sure that if you're in the server, you can dig them up. Hey, guess what? 6-7. Intern Pro, you got the joke wrong. That doesn't rhyme. That's the whole point of guess what chicken butt is the rhyming. You gotta do better. Nice attempt, but come on. That could be a really cool movie, actually. Somebody called Mark, we need another home run. Intern HCD, are you talking about Containment Breach the movie? Because yes, it would. And yes, if Markiplier wants to be in the movie, I'd be very happy with that. In the movie, not make the movie, Mark. We're not trying to bully you into making a movie. What's the status of the Dutch SCP gang? Intern Tumbari. The cosplay group known as Dutch SCP is still wrestling with the scenario. There's the people accused of being Nazis. There's the people denying being Nazis. There's harassment going back and forth. Because the SCP Wiki has nothing to do with off-site behavior, there's not much the SCP staff can do about it, except for if anyone has a wiki account and turns out to be a Nazi, then ban them. So, hopefully that cosplay group is working out their situation, and people stop harassing each other, and people can have fun in an SCP Foundation fandom without Nazis. That would be real cool. Real cool. The last update I gave you guys is that the comments in the stream where I discussed that were deleted for some reason. It must have been a YouTube glitch or something, because all the comments came back. Like, it was strange. In the stream where I discussed the situation at first, there are several comments from people from DSCP talking about the scenario, and I respond to them, and you ought to read what they're saying and what I say if you want an education on public relations, as well as not getting yourself sued because you didn't say anything accusing anybody, but you're just talking in generalizations, as well as deprogramming cults and talking down, shooting down excuses as they go. Now, I'm not saying the DSCP is a cult. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that the tactics I use in this scenario are the same tactics I would use when it comes to deprogramming a cult member to the best of my ability. But, yes, it was strange. In the comments of that video, there was the people who I responded to, the DSCP people, and then there's the comments I didn't respond to. And for some reason, all of the comments I responded to disappeared, and all of the comments I didn't respond to stayed. And then a day later, all of the comments that I responded to returned. So it's very weird. They weren't deleted. Was it a YouTube glitch? I don't know. But yes, that drama, to my knowledge, is not over. I'm still hearing whispers and conversations from all parties involved, and I am still grumpy that I had to be involved in the first place, because anything I have to be involved with when it comes to Nazis, I don't like it. Punch Nazis. That's the moral of the story. Attracted to 682. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member with your terrible, terrible username. Grab yourself a cronut on your way past the commissary. Theoretically, if you wrote another song-inspired SCP, any idea what song you'd choose this time? I have been trying to workshop an SCP to the song These Dreams by the band Heart for a year or two now, because that song is so ethereal and gorgeous, and its imagery is so Alice in Wonderland, Chronicles of Narnia-y, fantasy. It's crazy. And I just can't get the story in my head of what it's going to be. But that song is the next one I'm going to write an SCP about, if I can get the idea. Aoki, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. Congratulations! You guys are a 5-star team again. Finally, you did it. You're a 5-star team. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say, should I change my name to Siren, yay or nah? I guess that's a personal preference of identity. Is that a user handle you would like to be referred to? Because I'm referring to you as Intern Frost, because that's the name you have. If you want me to refer to you as Intern Siren, then that would be a great way to make me do that. Hey, Des, someone recently uploaded an artwork to the wiki called SCP-067's Victim. It's clever. DJ, that terrifies me enough that I am going to look at it. If I can find it. I don't like how this looks so far. I don't like how this looks so far. I did it. I killed him. He was too much, and I killed him. He's buried in a forest. I put a dead deer blank. I don't like that it's a green pen. I don't know that I like the name that the doctor and then the black bar there is long enough to be me. It does have a fairly normal business shirt, which I wouldn't wear, so that's a good sign that it's not me. Because I didn't kill anyone. Wasn't me. What? What? Huh. I wonder what's happening there. Why you be lying, Dr. Sherman? Junior Researcher Sally, I was cleared of all accusations from SCP-7777. I'll have you know. Uh-uh. Is a Doulahan anomalous? Asking for a Doulahan friend. Intern Mako. I don't know if we have a Doulahan SCP. I wouldn't be shocked. SCP-6488 seems to include the word Doulahan. It's just someone using the name Doulahan. So does not seem to be actually a Doulahan. No, I don't think we have a Doulahan stream. Sorry, a Doulahan SCP. Interesting. Good to know. What is a Doulahan? A Doulahan is, if I'm remembering correctly, a headless horseman. Yes. Doulahan, more commonly known as headless horsemen, are legendary characters of folklore. So yes, the Doulahan is the headless horseman, or the species of headless horseman, not the specific one from the stories of Ichabod Crane. All right, returning to the stream, dotting all my P's and Q's on the notifications. And chat. We are going over to the SCP reading again. Let's get through 9270. Addendum 3, ERR suppression attempts. Now, for those who weren't here, SCP-9270 is a machine that we have at the Foundation that can erase people from reality. And we've only used it, less than 50 times. And one of the times, it seems to have not worked fully because possibly the entity that we erased still exists and its wife can still talk to it, maybe. We're still investigating the documentation. So that's where we are right now. Following confirmation of -ERR in the absence of an identifiable origin, 9270 research team authorized a series of suppression attempts targeting Dr. Alma Saez. Cognitive anchoring procedure. Dr. Saez was placed under supervised therapeutic observation. Sessions focus on identity reinforcement, emotional grounding, and differentiation between verifiable memory and inferred constructs. Result. There's a typo. There's no space after the word result. Dr. Saez demonstrated full orientation and no measurable cognitive impairment. Subject continued to report the presence of an unidentified individual, described consistently as close or familiar. During guided exercises, Dr. Saez repeatedly paused before responding to prompts, stating, "I feel like I'm responding for two people." Next up, amnestic treatment. Procedure. Class B amnestics are administered to disrupt memories associated with -ERR. Follow-up doses were calibrated to suppress emotional recall. Result: unrelated autobiographical memory recall was measurably reduced. -ERR manifestations persisted. Dr. Saez reported difficulty recalling minor personal information while simultaneously describing -48 with increased confidence and specificity. When questioned on this, Dr. Saez responded, "Everything feels farther away, but she doesn't." Environmental reset. Procedure. Dr. Saez was relocated to temporary housing within Area 34 under the pretense of her current living quarters being contaminated with SCP-742, codename Retrovirus. Dr. Saez's belongings were replaced with standard Foundation issue furnishings. Access to personal records, communications, and external environments was restricted. Result: no reduction in -ERR. Within 24 hours of relocation, Dr. Saez began referring to specific areas of the new quarters as if shared, including statements such as, "You always stand there," and "Are the lights hurting your eyes too?" This attempt was suspended prematurely by Dr. Hike, citing potential psychological risks to isolating Dr. Saez. Sensory isolation. Subject was placed in low stimulation observation suite for 48 hours. Result: -ERR intensified. Audio logs captured Dr. Saez engaging in an extended one-sided conversation. Speech patterns indicate paused consistent with waiting for response. That should be pauses. We're getting a lot of typos in here. Remember, Site 42 staff, here I am reading this out loud word for word. It's a great way to clean up your articles that you are writing. When you read it with your eyes, they start to glaze over when you reread something. But saying it word for word, you will have to pay more attention. You'll find these little things. At multiple points, Dr. Saez altered her posture to accommodate an unseen second party. Psychiatric intervention. Procedure. Dr. Saez was reassigned from standard psychological care to sessions under Dr. Aaron Baskerville, a member of the 9270 research team. Result: we have a therapy log. This is now July 1st. Interview between Dr. Saez and Dr. Baskerville. Dr. Saez is seated across from Dr. Baskerville, giving her a confused expression. Baskerville speaks first. "You're aware this session is being recorded." "I'm sorry, you're not my usual therapist. I think Hike is busy. You're aware that this session is being recorded?" "Yes." "Good. Then we won't waste time." Dr. Baskerville reviews a tablet. "You've been claiming the continued presence of an individual who does not exist." "I didn't say that." "You have. Repeatedly. Hell, we have recorded evidence of you speaking to this person." Silence between them. "Let's be precise. There's no record of your alleged spouse, no documentation, no biometric traces, no social footprints. Nothing." Dr. Baskerville finally looks up from the tablet. "So either this person never existed, or your memory is unreliable. Which would you prefer?" "That's not how. Answer the question." "I don't think she's gone. That wasn't one of the options. Try again." Dr. Baskerville taps her tablet. She turns it around to Dr. Saez, showing her a blank license. This is what you're staking your sanity on. Nothing. You're experiencing some sort of error. Your brain is inventing structure where there is none. That's not what it feels like. Feelings are not evidence. Silence. Let's try something simple. Say her name. Pause. Dr. Saez stares at the table, rubbing her left hand. "I can't." "Exactly. Because there is no name." Invisible text. "You know it." Dr. Saez shifts slightly. "Look at me." Silence. Dr. Saez doesn't move. "Saez." Dr. Saez slowly raises her head, still avoiding eye contact with Dr. Baskerville. "What just happened?" "Nothing." No invisible text, just a space. "I heard something." "No, you didn't. You expected to. That's the problem. You built an expectation loop. Stimulus without source. Your brain fills the gap. That's not... Do you know about your family's history of mental illness? What? No. Really? I thought you knew this. She flips the tablet toward Dr. Saez. Your father was diagnosed with schizophrenia at the age of 48. That's not... No. That's not true. He died 2 years later. Suicide. No. I just talked to him this weekend. That's not possible. That's not possible. See for yourself. Dr. Saez looks at the tablet. On screen is a medical record bearing her father's name. Attached are notes from a psychiatrist and a coroner's report. No. No, this is wrong. The records are all there. I called him. When? Sunday. There is no record of that call. You didn't even... That doesn't... Alma. No invisible text. You're experiencing the same pattern in 2 different contexts. Dr. Baskerville gestures vaguely at the tablet. A person who does not exist, and a person who no longer exists. Your brain is resolving absence by constructing a presence. Dr. Saez stares at the tablet. Her breathing has become uneven. No. This is different. How? Because she's here. Invisible text. Alma. Dr. Saez's head turns slightly. No, she isn't. There's nothing there. Then why does it feel? Because you expect it to. The same way you expect your father to be alive. There's a blank but no invisible text. Even when presented with evidence to the contrary. You're lying. Maybe, but you can't prove that either. That's the problem, Alma. You've lost the ability to distinguish between what feels true and what is true. Dr. Saez shakes her head, muttering to herself. She slowly raises her hand into the empty space beside her. Her fingers stop suddenly, as if grasping a surface. I know what's real. I'm still here. You keep buying into this delusion. You're reinforcing it. No response. That's all this is. End log. Directed reframing did not reduce -ERR. If anything, it got worse. Oh, sorry, this is a note from Baskerville. Directed reframing did not reduce ERR. If anything, it got worse. I tried to follow up with some more sessions, but Saez refused to talk to me. And I hate to admit it, but I started hearing something too during that last session. The next attempt on stopping this was noospheric suppression. Procedure. A Latulu noospheric dampener was installed within Dr. Saez's quarters. The system was calibrated alongside surveillance equipment to activate during -ERR manifestations. Result. Field stability degraded within 6 hours of initial activation. Monitoring systems recorded continuous low-level interference with the field. Attempts to isolate or excise the signal were unsuccessful. Surveillance indicated no change in ERR activity. When asked to describe how she felt the night before, Dr. Saez stated, It felt clearer. Upon deactivation of the field, system logs across 3 terminals contain text entries consisting of a single repeated phrase. Volvere. I don't know what volvere is. I don't know what that means either. We're moving on to Addendum 4, so I will take a break to the chat. Returning to chat. Intern Frost, thank you for sending a flow state to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will lock in. How's it spells? I assume you mean spelled, Dr. Frogman? Volvare is I'll be back. I see, Tarleton Fox, thank you. That is quite, that's quite apt for what we're doing for. I hate the assessor so bad. Yeah, I wonder how you could read what I just read in a different voice and have it be slightly different in tone. You see, I've been playing a lot of Hades 2 recently, and so I kind of took that voice into a strife direction since Basker was being so antagonistic. But I wonder how else you could read that and still uh, get a same hate. I mean, the bureaucratic gaslighting that we do at the Foundation is well known after 8980. Interim Atomic Pro. Higher up in the chat, Tarleton Fox shared the word. It's volvere. Ditto. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Please do not come to our commissary. I'm afraid what you would cook in our kitchen. Both cook in the parapharmacological sense. Don't be a Walter White in our commissary. But furthermore, I don't even trust you with food, Ditto. I saw your Ditto energy drink. But thank you for donating regardless. Yes, hello, Sherman. Ditto here of SCP movie need fundraise. Congratulations. Ditto offer service. Give fundraise. Bon prono. You trust Ditto. P.S. Ditto take tutoring from commissary. Door stuck yesterday. How does Ditto even get in here without us noticing? The YouTube chat is doing something peculiar, and I want to show it to you so you guys can maybe tell me what the hell this is. Intern Hunter Mark. Your chat says, gasp, it's given yippee. That's what your chat says. Unless I mouse over it, in which case it becomes gasp, it's deado yippee. Why is the text changing when I mouse over it? What does that mean? We're already doing an SCP article with secret hidden text you have to mouse over. What the hell is this? Translation? Is the word given deado in some other language? In Spanish, dedo most commonly means given, the past participle of the word dar, meaning to give, or d, singular for dice. I see. Interest. Peculiar. Peculiar. Very interesting. I did not know that YouTube chat translated if I mouse over it. That was surprising. Huh. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. New name, Stargazer Frost, preferred siren, please. Now I'm confused. So you want me to call you Siren, but your name is Stargazer Frost? As I said previously when we were talking about this, the easiest way to get me to call you the proper thing is to change your user handle to that. Because you said, is name changing? Preferred siren, please. So is it siren that you're preferring now? I'll try my best. It'll be way easier if your user handle is what you want me to call you. Attracted to 682. Thank you for donating again to say. Thoughts on offsite SCP fan art / fanfic stuff? Well, while not canon because it's not on the SCP database, it is all pretty dope and can be accessible to anyone's headcanon if they prefer, because that's what a headcanon is after all. And I love it when people make cool art. That's good stuff. Profile is changing, but my nickname IRL is Siren. Sorry. I see. And so, does that mean you want me to call you Siren here? Is my final question of this. I'm gonna make art of you. Where can I post it for you to see? Intern Atomic. You can post it in the Site 42 Discord server. If you want it to be shown on stream, you can send it to the Site 42 Fan Art Friday email address. Or if you post it on a social media, you can tag me and hopefully I see the tag. But in the meantime, Site 42 staff, why don't we continue to girl boss, gaslight, and gatekeep in this SCP-9270? We are approximately 3/4 of the way through, so we are reaching the grand finale of this gripping story. Which I might say, typos aside, this is a pretty damn good story. It must have been submitted late, which is why it's got a lower rating in the contest. But okay. Addendum 9274, as in the fourth addendum. Remanifestation. So we have two side-by-side security logs. I'm assuming this must mean that these things are happening simultaneously. This is the storage access chamber, area 34, and this is the living quarters, area 34. Unknown subject appears here if I roll over, and Dr. Saez is in the living quarters. And so I'm going to have to go back and forth between these. This is going to be a little tricky to read. Let's see what we can do. So first of all, both these things happen simultaneously. Silence, the access terminal for 9270 storage is in idle mode, the screen on low light setting. Meanwhile, Dr. Saez sleeps peacefully, the only sound her occasional snore. Keyboards on the terminal for 9270 become depressed as if an individual was typing. The screen brightens, showing a username and password followed by access granted. The screen transitions to a loading bar displaying please wait. The next thing that happens is Dr. Saez moans in her sleep, turning to her side. A sigh can be heard from an unknown source in the storage room. The loading bar finally fills, the terminal now displaying a catalog of all the nodes contained in 9270. It rapidly scrolls through the list, the cursor clicking the latest entry. 3 options are shown: access, delete, dump. The cursor moves to the dump option, clicking it several times. At the same time as this, a pencil falls off of Dr. Saez's desk, and Dr. Saez turns onto her back. The next thing that happens in the storage room, mechanical groans echo from within 9270 as several nodes are moved to the access chamber. The light over the hatch turns green as it opens up. Emerging from the hatch is invisible text for visual error, grabbing the sides of the hatch to pull itself further out. It falls out of the hatch onto the ground, landing with a painful grunt. In the living quarters, Dr. Saez's Phone vibrates. Visual error lays on the ground for several minutes, and then visual error looks around. It runs to the terminal, typing in several inputs. Its position blocks the terminal from view. Footsteps can be heard from outside the living quarters. In the storage room for 9270, visual error moves away from the terminal, which now displays a timer for 30 minutes. It approaches the chamber's exit. It messes with the electronic lock. An annoyed grunt leaves the visual error as it rips the lock off the wall. Dr. Siaz's phone vibrates in the living quarters at this time. The chamber for storing 9270 exit slides open, alerting Area 34 security. Visual error slips out, running towards the nearest elevator. Dr. Siaz's phone vibrates again. Visual error rounds the corner into the corridor leading to the elevator. The elevator opens with a ding, 3 site security guards stepping out. A confused expression darkens their face as they look at the space in front of them. They hesitantly raise their firearms, pointing them at visual error. During this time, Dr. Size's phone vibrates again, and then Dr. Size's laptop turns on, displaying a message from Site Command. Back in the corridor, the guards open fire. Visual error ducks to avoid fire. Oh, the letters in visual error are changing capitalization each time we do it. Oh boy. Oh wow. So I thought that we were getting some typos here. Visual error and visual error and visual error with different punctuate capitalization and the visual error, and now the R is staying there. And now visual rua viz rual error. Ducks to avoid fire, crawling into an open door. The guards hold the fire, slowly approaching the door. They stop right before reaching it, one of them volunteering to enter before the others. This is crazy. Dr. Saez's phone vibrates again. A loud boom erupts from the room, accompanied by a quick flash of light. The guard flies out of the room, slamming into the wall. Smoke rises from a gaping hole in their armor. The other 2 guards share a panicked look before entering the room. Dr. Saez's phone vibrates. 2 more loud booms, followed by the guards flying out of the room, joining their unconscious friends on the wall. Visual Deror emerges from the room holding a prototype AWD weapon. They drop it and run over to check on the guards. Confirming their pulse, they get up and rush to the elevator. They step inside, clicking the button for sublevel 3. Dr. Saez's phone vibrates again. Phone vibrates again. Phone vibrates again. The elevator opens on sublevel 28. Security guard enters. Phone vibrate. Phone vibrate. Elevator opens on sublevel 15. Security guard falls out of the doors unconscious. Phone vibrates. Dr. Saez wakes up with a start. She looks at her phone and the notification bar full of alerts from site security and command. Her hand goes to her chest, squeezing her heart. She scrambles out of bed, cursing herself as she tries to find her hairbrush. She disappears into the bathroom. Sublevel 3, Rafsul Daeror emerges from the elevator, bruised. Their eyes scan the hallway, landing on an arrow. Living quarters. They run in that direction. Dr. Saez exits her bathroom, hair brushed and her face slightly moist. Her phone vibrates, a text from Dr. Baskerville. She goes to answer it. Before she starts typing, she looks up at her door. She gulps, tossing her phone onto the bed. Raphael Deval, I scan each nameplate as she runs down the hallway. K. Summers, V. Shing, H. Sender, T. Sanders, A. Saez. She comes to a stop in front of Alma's door. She rubs her left ring finger, a wedding band trying to make itself visible there. She takes a deep breath and taps the door. Dr. Saez pulls her hair into a ponytail. She rubs her face before reaching the door. She takes a deep breath and taps the door's panel. The door slides open, revealing the 2 women to each other, their hands still on the panel. Dr. Saez looked ahead at the woman opposite her. She is breathing heavily, shoulders rising and falling as if she had run a marathon. There are bruises and cuts along her arms. Her hair is uneven, as though cut without care. She looks real. For several seconds, neither moves. Dr. Saez's hand lifts slowly, trembling, and stops halfway. No. She shakes her head. No, I know you. Rafaela Davalos lets out a breath that sounds like it had been held for years. Her own hand rises, mirroring Dr. Saez's. It slowly reaches up to meet hers. Both flinch, not from pain, but from the shock of it. Their hands linger, feeling the warmth of one another. No recordaba tu cara. I couldn't remember your face. I know, lo sé. No recordaba tu nombre. I couldn't remember your name. Lo sé. I know. Dr. Sayers lets out a broken sound somewhere between a laugh and a sob. Todavía no puedo. I still can't. Si puedes, Alma. Yes, you can. Dr. Sayers closed her eyes. Her lips moved slightly as if testing the shape of something. Rafaela Davalo smiles, gesturing for Dr. Sayers to continue. Rafaela Davalo steps forward. Dr. Sayers pulls her into her arms before she can finish crossing the door frame. The door panel behind Rafaela registers a second handprint and slides shut. For a long time, neither speaks. Dr. Sayers' shoulders shake. Rafaela's arms tighten around her. Rafaela says, Te dije que volvería. I told you I'd come back. Dr. Sayers laughs. Wet and shaking, her face pressed into Rafaela's shoulder. Siempre decías eso. You always said that. Y siempre lo decía en serio. And I always meant it. Silence and alert sounds distantly from somewhere deeper in the facility. Neither woman responds. End log. Dr. Alma Sayers has failed to return to work following this incident. At 3:01 a.m., 9270 storage system automatically restarted. Upon reinitializing, all stored nodes were found to be empty. Further use of 9270 is suspended pending reevaluation of its effectiveness. Damn! Damn, author! Damn. Listen, I hate all of that as an SCP Foundation site director who sees protocol being broken, anomalies breaking loose, making themselves real again. But that was fucking sweet. That was good. That was quite a build. That article had a lot. This is supremely underrated. The article itself is getting an upvote. Now, I don't know any song off the top of my head that could match this. I mean, there's a lot of love songs. That's part of the problem, is there's so many songs out there. So what could this be about? Is it a Spanish song, which I don't know a lot of, despite the fact that I teach Latin dancing. I'm just kind of singing the words in Spanish. I don't actually know what they mean. Whatever, I got my one song that I knew. So, whatever. What song is it, and what is this? This is my entry to This Is My JamCon. I received this amazing song. Sentir que soy amado by Jailio Ariente. Sentir que soy amado. Okay, I don't know the song, so there's that. Well, wait, do I know the song? I know a lot of Latin music from dance. What's it sound like? Well, it's groovy. I dig it. I like the song. It's a good song. Check out Jay Dune's article, which was inspired by my song choice. This is also when I finally fulfill my goal to write something for OOV. Technically, I already have an article in the canon, 6821. That one was retroactively added. That was sick as hell, author Top Down Under. That was sick as hell. I am almost sad we waited so long to read it, because, damn. Claps for Top Down Under. If you are an SCP Wiki member and you enjoyed that, make sure to upvote it yourself. Or I guess if you didn't like it, downvote it. But I don't know how you can't like that, honestly. That was gripping. The logs going back and forth, side by side, that was real good. That was real good. And hey, that is another JamCon article in the can. Next time we do a JamCon article, it will be SCP-9665 by Blazing Pie. Hopefully tomorrow. But, for today at least, with 50 minutes left in the stream, honestly, I don't know if I have 50 minutes left. For as much time as I have left in me in the stream, let's hang, let's yap. Let me check the co-files, make sure I didn't miss anything. All clear. Intern Siren, thank you for getting your name so I can read it very easily. I appreciate your help in this matter. Thank you for donating to inform me as well. My second favorite gay SCP. Intern Sprite, what is your favorite gay SCP? Dr. Sherman, do you have any tips on what to wear for a job interview? Intern Hunter Mark. Professionalism is my middle name. So my question is, what kind of job are you applying for? Because that does make a difference in what your outfit should be. I will try to look out for your messages, Intern Hunter Mark. My favorite is SCP-1001, aka Bigfoot. Intern Cisneros. SCP-1000 is Bigfoot. SCP-1001 is something else. SCP-1001 is a plant. SCP-1000 is Bigfoot. Maybe that was a typo. It was one digit off. Dr. Sherman, how did you like the Candle House Collective experiences? Intern Bacon, the Candle House Collective made some very interesting phone-based theater shows. They essentially do theater, but you call in and you're talking to an actor who brings you through a story that is rather choose your own adventure. And it's pretty gripping. If you watch my videos on the Claws experience, which is a singular video, and then the Lennox Mutual experience, there's some very interesting stuff in there. So I would recommend, if you can afford the tickets, to give either one a try. When you look at the camera like that, you look like you're giving me the stare, the look my mom gives me when she ain't kidding. Well, Intern Beecham, I am never kidding. I'm the site director here. We are professionals. All right, maybe we kid around sometimes. Dude, I'm thinking this way too hard. It's just a fast food company interview. Intern Hunter Mark, in that case, you would be fine with either nice jeans to a khaki pants kind of scenario, as well as a polo shirt or a not overdressed button-up shirt. I wouldn't likely go as far as shirt and tie, but polo shirts and not dirty pants and or a casual button-up should do the job for that, because it's not too fancy. Intern HCD, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some fruit salad, yummy, yummy, on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I'd like to ask you about SCP-3999. I've seen most of what you made about it, but I'm still struggling. Also, I'm a level 1 researcher. Can you be more specific with your question, Intern HCD? Because 3999 is a pretty vast article. So, what is it that you're struggling to comprehend? Intern Cricket, thank you for sending a clapping seal to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure the visit from SCP-8000 made their day. Intern Poland, thank you for sending a flow state to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will lock in thanks to your urging. Intern Siren, thank you for donating again to say, I can conjure and freeze enemies with Ice Fangs and Dimension Hop, a menace to physics. What is my SCP class? Because I don't know where to check in. Dimension hopping makes you a Keter. You can just jump dimensions. That means it's very hard to contain you. That's a Keter class. Remember, object class does not mean danger, it means containment difficulty. Sir 096 is coming, please send reinforcements. Well, intern Rochelle, my first suggestion is get out of its way so you don't see its face. The reinforcements will arrive after it's stopped its frenzy, and then we can bag it. Sleepless Dragon, thank you for sending 2 gold doubloons to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will spend them wisely. I saw his face. Well, first of all, intern Rochelle, remember that SCP-096, as well as every anomaly in containment, is an it, not a he. All anomalies are objects, not people. Please practice proper pronoun parlance protocols at the Foundation. Although you're not going to be doing that for very long anyways, because if you saw its face, you're done. So get away from other people, that way you don't get them killed too, and we're sorry for your loss. It's more or less what was actually anomalous about it. It seems reality bending in nature, but then it gets meta fast. I guess what's the message? HCD, have you listened to my SCP-3999 declassified video on this channel? Because that goes through a lot of the references and explains it pretty clearly. But yes, SCP-3999 is a reality bender and can do all sorts of multiverse messing with things. Researcher Talaran eventually manages to slay the anomaly, and it has a metaphor for the author. Essentially, there was a contest going on at the time on the wiki, and the author, at least in this iteration, like wrote Talaran into an SCP and then scrapped it. Then wrote Talaran into an SCP and then scrapped it again and again and again. So the article is from Talaran's point of view of some multiversal entity reality bending over and over Talaran and messing with it. Until Talaran manages to fight back and stop the author from fucking with them. So honestly, an aspirational tale for all of us whose authors are continually fucking with us. Ow! I was just kidding! Bit silly, but what's the necklace you've got on Dr. Sherman? It looks nice. This is a little yoga bead necklace. It does look nice. Ooh, I didn't know there was a live. Hi, I just got out of church. Well, intern Feeblicious, welcome to today's stream. I hope you're feeling holy. And you want to contain the anomalies that pretend to be religiosity deities. Toot sweet. My author doesn't remember her favorite gay SCP because she didn't save the number. Intern Sprite. Tell me about the SCP and let me see if I can keyword search it. I'm pretty good at that these days. Favorite kind of sushi? Intern T Rose. I am a big fan of sashimi. I get a lot of just sashimi and nigiri most of the time, but a good roll, can't turn that down as well from time to time. Intern Beecham, thank you for sending a gold coin to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I'm sure they'll spend that doubloon wisely. Attracted to 682. Thank you for donating again to say. It pronouns for all SCPs except me, a toaster. Well, yes, only because we can't refer to me outside of the first person. But that doesn't count for any other object except for me, a toaster, designated SCP-426. Favorite kind of guy? Intern Calico. While a lot of people are fans of a lil guy, I'm more of a fan of a goofy guy. I love a goofy guy. Good stories come from goofy guys. I remember you were the one who introduced me to it. The details are too vague to understand in memory. I think it was one of your favorites too. 399930590. I don't remember. None of my favorite SCPs that I say are gay in that way, in a way that's like the focus of the article. So I'm not sure if it would be one of those. Intern Potato, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a rice ball on your way past the commissary. Good news, we used copies of 131 and send them through portals. Copies of 131, I remember that now. And send them through portals to other dimensions to help contain 173 and other facilities. We can't use the 131s to contain 173. That is immoral. 173 poops and bleeds everywhere. We can't have the 131s running around in the muck. That's gross. It's unsanitary. Whoever approved that, hit him upside the head. Dr. Sherman, SCP-7507 is Euclid. It's a 507 remake. They're wrong. I don't care. Whoever wrote that was wrong. Teleporters are Keter, unless you can stop them from teleporting. Then they can be Euclid. If you can't stop them from teleporting, then they are Keter, and the author is wrong. Unprofessionalism. Just like how many articles back in the day have the pronouns wrong, because people fucked it up. I can't clean every article in the database. I can only chastise the people who fuck it up. Intern Omar, intern Top Goat, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Hey, Dr. Sherman, do you know how fast SCP-173 moves? Intern Hunter Bark, I remember this joke. I wonder if the chat remembers this joke. Dimension hopping isn't teleportation. It's a type of teleportation. I'm not splitting that hair. No, you're leaving your cell to another dimension. Just because you're not teleporting in one dimension, still dimension hopping, still teleportation. It's just teleportation from one dimension to another. I'm not letting that hair be split. We are not splitting that hair. I am keeping that hair. It is a hair made out of a very strong metal that is not titanium. You're not getting me on that one either, bitches. My chat of bitches. Ah. You're not going to be agitated here at the end of stream. I will not. Fallen Libra, thank you for what I think is your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a lemon-filled donut on your way past the commissary. There have been an awful lot of containment breaches today, Dr. Sherman. We get calls from the O5 Council again. Well, if you look at people in the chat, you might see a lack of professionalism that causes such issues. I'm doing my best to stem the tides and educate. Intern Bacon, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a froyo on your way past the commissary. Opinion on SCP-001 proposal Ouroboros cycle. Listen, I hear it's good, but I ain't got time to read all that. I'm a short SCP enjoyer. That is a lot of text. I'll get to it someday when I have time. I have no opinions. Intern Siren, thank you for donating again to say. I conjured O5 Council coffee as the peace offering for my antics. Hopefully they don't give me a hard time because of me. We'll see what happens. Intern Potato, thank you for donating again to say. My mistake, they're used to help contain 173 for containment breaches and their universes. As long as it's not a steady containment. Because, yeah, we're not getting poop all over the 131s. That's just mean. Gross. Attracted to 682, thank you for donating again to say. That user handle. Dimension up to SCP 6001. 682's chill there, kinda. That doesn't help us with all the other 682s in the multiverse, though. Intern Breakles, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. You have now made them a 1-star Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I do hope that you guys level up to a 5-star team again. I know you've got it in you. I don't think I even want to know what 173's poop is. Well, Aoki, we do know it is feces and blood as a mixture. Of who or what, I'm not exactly sure. Intern Hedix and Intern Mask-kun. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Intern Calico, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself a key lime pie on your way past the commissary. I think I accidentally consumed SCP-3313. What do I do? No, you didn't. No. Not. You did not. No. No, it can't be. Listen, when you caused that containment breach and I told you to eat a dick, I did not mean Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis. Why would you pick that specific penis to ingest? Well, we are going to put you into a medical coma in order to remove this from your digestive tract. because we do not want the anomaly damaged. That is a very powerful penis. Sometimes working here is a real pain in the ass. At least we're not the fools of Site 17. Oh, Mamori, today's Pride feature, one side of a conversation with an anomaly. If you go to the Pride Fest page for this year, you'll see it. It definitely has some Site 17 slander in there, which I highly approve of. Breakles, thank you for sending 2 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team, and then Cricket sent 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. So you're now a 2-star team all over again. You were at 1 plus 11, now you're a 2-star team. So keep making your way to 5 stars. I believe in you. Intern Potato, thank you for donating again to say. Oh yeah, 999, eat all the food in the break room again. Can't help but love it though. That's actually an aberrant behavior that we should be very worried about, because not all of the break room food was sweets. SCP-999's diet consists solely of sweets. If it ate something that is not sweets, we have a big worry on our hands. What does that mean for its growth patterns? What does that mean for its food choices? Is it going to move over to eating people? I need you to stay on this. Take notes. Intern Caligo, thank you for donating again to say, my bad G. Yeah, you're bad G. Now go to medical so they can retrieve Benjamin Franklin's magical wish-granting penis, aka SCP-3313. Intern Siren, thank you for sending a happy pride to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I'm sure they are celebrating well. Intern Cricket, thank you for sending 3 stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. You successfully made them a 5-star team again. Let's see how long it lasts. Fallen Libra, thank you for sending sparkles. I'm sure the chat enjoyed the sparkles. Intern Calico, thank you for donating again to say. By the way, I'm going to be borrowing SCP-420-J, also my bad G for consuming 3313. Well, at least that'll make you slower so we can put you in that medically induced coma. Intern Breakles, thank you for sending 3 stars, making the chat a 3-star team again. I'm sure they are hopeful to be a 5-star team again soon. Man, how good was that SCP that we wrote, huh? Red. That was a damn good SCP, 9270. Good work, Top Down Under. Intern Cricket, thank you for sending 2 gold doubloons to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I'm sure they'll spend them well. Intern Beecham, thank you for sending a 100 to the chat. I'm sure they'll keep it 100 at your urging. I have a new joke for you, Dr. Sherman. Why was the scientist killed by SCP-173? I don't know. Why was the scientist killed by SCP-173? I mean, obviously, besides blinking. That is the actual answer, but what is your, what's your joke? Intern Freesh, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Also, it's been a minute. Hope you've been doing well. Grab yourself some teriyaki on your way past the commissary. It's been a minute since I've greeted you. I'm running low on sticks once more. Too many anomalies to smack. I mean, test. May I request more? As long as you don't damage the anomalies. Be careful with that. We all know about SCP-049-J's problem with the pointy doctor stick, so don't make the same mistakes. Congratulations, Calico, on becoming a level 1 researcher here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and service, and congratulate you on your promotion. Now be responsible. Amber, thank you for sending sunshine on a cloudy day to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. Intern Dimitri and Dr. Wigglesworth, welcome to Site-42 staff. We thank you for subscribing. Intern Breakles, thank you for sending sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will enjoy the glitter. Intern Hunter Mark, the answer to how did you phrase the joke? Why was the scientist killed by SCP-173? He had a peanut allergy. I see, because its nickname is Peanut, even though it is in fact concrete, rebar, and spray paint. There's not actually peanut involved in the anomalies makeup, unless someone rubbed peanut shards on it for some reason, which is a weird thing to do. Intern, Overseer, Faller and Libra, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I believe that made them a 3-star team now? A 4-star team. They're now a 4-star team. You're almost a 5-star team. You're on your way. Dr. Sherman, why did the scientist die after taking a picture? Intern Breakles, I do not know. In the meantime, Intern Beecham, thank you for sending a star to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. They have now become a 5-star team. Congratulations, chat. You are 5 stars again. Don't mess it up. Favorite kind of soup? Intern T Rose, very easily, a beer cheese soup. A good beer cheese soup, mwah. That's some good stuff. Because it was a cognitohazard. Breakles, that. So did they see the cognitohazard through the viewfinder of the camera with the picture they took? Did they somehow take a picture of a cognitohazard without dying, but then look at the picture and die? What? 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 And researcher Calico, thank you for your first donation. Thank you for donating again, I believe. Yes, donating again. Oh, please, what have I done anything irresponsible? Ignoring the 3313 incident and trying to punch the peanut, Owen trying to punch Shy Guy and trying to punch I've attempted to punch a lot of anomalies anyways. Yeah, the shark punching center is down the way. Stop punching anomalies. We're not supposed to damage the anomalies. Bonjour from Louisiana. Well, intern Colgray, hello back to you. Bonjour. Or I guess bonsoir at this point. Bonsoir. Yo, Dr. Sherman, how do you pen spin like that? It's really cool. Well, pen tutorial unlocked. Hold pen between fingers about midsection. Wiggle it side to side. You want to get it horizontal. Then you grab it with the next finger, boom. You've started. Horizontal, grab it, boom. You can do the same thing over the top. Horizontal grab, under, over, over. You can reverse it. So you go both ways. If you practice with your palm up, gravity keeps the pen in your hand. If you practice palm down, gravity tries to steal it, making it harder. Do it on both hands, you saw nothing. Do it both hands both ways. Practice makes perfect. Over the couple of weeks, you'll make it good. This pen is not for you, Puppy of Interest 42. This is my pen. Hmm?
She has no thumbs.
She has no thumbs. No pen spinning for you. You know, technically, I don't spin with my thumb. You don't need a thumb to pen spin. Puppy of Interest 42 has made a return. She is very jumpity. Very jumpity, sweetie pumpkin. Yes to kisses. Very good baby. The sweetest pumpkin in Site 42 has come to say hello again. I was very excited, and now I am content.
So happy.
Can you spin the dog? Well, she is long, so that's at least that.
I think you would need to do some lesbian exercises.
I need
to strengthen those fingers.
I need longer fingers.
7 times.
Rah! Frida baby.
You have to murder.
All right. Returning to the chat.
I did not say salad fingers.
No salad fingers, no spoons, no rusty spoons. Researcher Caligo, thank you for donating again to say, my bad, G, I was bored. That's no excuse for destruction of anomalies. Stop it. Intern Freesh, thank you for donating again to say. Question, the anomaly that makes you gag when you say its number, and why does it make you read its documentation, and you will know. Read its documentation. It's the most disgusting thing on planet Earth. Just knowing it exists is horrible. It's a blight on all of our lives. Attracted to 682, thank you for donating again to say. Audio sync, that's what I'm being told. Attracted to 682, thank you for donating again to say. Why should we off 682 but not 106, for example? Because 106 is a much lesser threat. Yes, 106 is very indestructible-esque and very murder happy, but it also has much slower at murder. It only kills one person at a time. And then it stops for a while, so we can contain it. 682 is all sorts of different murder. Mass murder. It's bad. Entered Siren, thank you for donating again to say. Mrs. Sherman or no, if so, hi. Agent Goose is not Mrs. Sherman. Different, no, there is no. Hashtag annoyed and asexual. No, thank you. Married to my work. Ace of Luck, thank you for donating again to say. Anyone know what I can do about this screaming tree? I'm trying to sleep and it's specifically yelling about Dr. Sherman. Listen, there are some trees that are mad that I'm trying to make SCP-4521 scream. They don't matter. I have one job, and I'm gonna fucking do it. Actually, I have many, many jobs, but that's one of them, and it will get done. Believe it. FNAF Master, thank you for sending a 100 to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will keep it 100 at your urging. And thank you for sending sparkles as well, FNAF Master. I'm sure the twinkle made them happy. Didn't it already scream? Yes, Aoki. But I wasn't there, even though it was my testing submission proposal. And, as I thought, it was too easy. It's not fair to use that thing. It's too easy. We got to find a better method that doesn't revolve around that abomination. Intern Freesh, thank you for donating again to say. Why not put the gag anomaly with the tree? Surely that's the one that did it. Read its documentation. It's listed. Read its documentation. It's in there. It's the one thing that did it. Intern Breakles and Intern FNAF Master used both sent stars to the Containment Hazard Assessment team, which means they are now a 2-star team. They are no longer a 5-star ranking. We got to get them up to the 5-star ranking again. Keep working. I believe in your potential. Intern Malachi, you made them a 3-star team. You're well on your way to that 5-star status Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e. chat. Dr. Sherman, I might have been eating your rocks on your shelf. Are you the floating hand spider? Why? Why? That's the amethyst I keep so I can go feed the floating hand spider. How did you learn how to type? That's peculiar. We should use SCP-2719 to make the tree scream. How is inside supposed to make the tree scream? Attracted to 682. Elaborate. Researcher Calico, thank you for donating again to say. Do you think Bright would mind that I yoinked his food? Okay, guys. I know there's only 10 minutes left in stream, but we got to do the disclaimer. Content warning for Bruno mentions. Calico, you probably don't know this, but you should read the rules of the channel. The character known as Dr. Bright is completely banned from being mentioned at Site-42, as well as off the SCP Foundation wiki. This is because, as the video desk just shared in the chat and you should watch after stream, the author of Dr. Bright, who utilized the character as a self-insert, was banned from the community for giant grooming and pedo allegations. Furthermore, the character of Dr. Bright was utilized in catching victims, in utilizing the character was written to be attracted to minors in certain stories themselves. It's a whole gross thing. And so anything related to Dr. Bright, the amulet, completely off limits. We're not mad at you because you probably didn't know. The SCP community, the SCP wiki only has about 2,000 authors, maybe, and only maybe 10 to 20,000 visitors usually. But the SCP fandom is way bigger. So a lot of people didn't know about that. And so you're not in trouble, but don't do it again. And watch my video if you want more details. It also has links to deeper evidence. Shoulder's a little sore. That's what happens when you do good gym. We also do not talk about the amulet either. Shaw does not have the amulet. Yeah, the amulet was part of role play with victims. It was a possession kink. You just don't want to mess with it. All right, Bruno talk, and no worries. Intern Rain and Intern Kingsley, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Intern Freddie and Malachi, thank you for sending 2 stars of the Containment Hazard Assessment team together, making them a 5-star team again. You did it. You're a 5-star team. I hope you survive and make it. Dr. Kiyoshi Inada, Site 42 Psychologist, Ethics Committee Liaison. You have a lot of titles. Director Sherman, please don't insult the old and especially not the new Swan entities. It jeopardizes reality. No pay raise for you. Not like I was getting a budget for from the overseers anyways. Yeah, those Swan entities. Someone draw Dr. Sherman straining his shoulder on leg day somehow. Yesterday was upper body day. I'm also sore from yesterday. I lifted good heavy things. The Foundation Fitness Initiative is going on great. Goodness sakes. You go to the gym more than one day a week. Sheesh. Also, a reminder, Site 42 staff, if you want to support the channel and have some cool merch for your own gym time, you can go and get the Foundation Fitness Initiative t-shirt. You can work out at the gym and represent the foundation at the same time. It is at our friends of the channel, the scpstore.org, who support us by hosting some of our merch. Desk is a little busy, so I'll get the shirt if you want a gym shirt. It's a good, join the Foundation Fitness Initiative. Even if you don't get the shirt, go to the gym, hydrate, be healthy, work out. It's good for you. Here, you can see the shirt. It's a good shirt. Toad King Studios made this design. It's a very good design. I thank Eric for the cool design. You don't have to be the fastest researcher, just not the slowest. Welcome to the Foundation Fitness Initiative. Get yo gains. Rebel Commander, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Showed up in the last 5 minutes. Good work. As well as being a member, grab yourself some pizza rolls on your way past the commissary. Read 5005, Many Civilization Mentioned Never Heard of. I'll have to check out the, I'll have to check it out. Calico, thank you for donating again to say, are the Greek gods technically SCPs? I mean, not technically. Many of them are in containment. Aphrodite, now known as Isaac, don't refer to Isaac as Aphrodite. You will get smoten, smited, smoten. You will be smote so fast. Isaac really doesn't like that. I know we have Hera in containment. I believe we have Apollo in containment, and we don't have Hephaestus, but we do have Hephaestus's weapons building manual, which is pretty useful. I'll tell you what. Do you know what to do? Is the SCP breaks out? Intern Corbett, you have to word that differently. I don't understand quite what you're saying. Maybe there's a typo in there, but if an SCP breaks out, we recontain it. It's that easy. I didn't catch all that. Was Hermes one of them? I do not know if we have Hermes in particular in containment. I don't think we do. No, we do not have Hermes in containment in particular. A lot of Greek gods, not Hermes. I got strong thanks to Dr. Sherman. I've gained 5 pounds of muscle. Intern Hunter Mark. Hell yeah. That's amazing. Keep up the good work. Hit the gym, get strong, so you can give good hugs, so you can lift furniture to help your friends and family move, so you can heftily wield soup for my family when the time comes. By the way, Site 42 staff, we are 2 minutes from the end of stream. You have 2 minutes remaining, so hit your last questions, people. We are rolling out soon. I am the boiled one. You're boiled, huh? So would you say you're cooked? Were you also chopped by chance when you were boiled? Oof. Hurts. Have you seen the Iron Lung Project Hail Mary crossover that's been trending? I have heard there is a Bloody Mary is called crossover fandom. I haven't seen a lot of it, but I know that Markiplier knows about it, which is always funny. That's about all I know. Calico, thank you for donating again to say. Good, because then I get shit for fraternizing with anomalies. Wait, is cuddling considered fraternizing? Yes. Yes, that is too close to the anomalies. Professionalism. They are objects, not people. No cuddling. If I pour out SCP-420, would it be on fire forever or act like normal whiskey? Intern Logan, the SCP-420 anomalous whiskey, I mean, it would just keep pouring because it's infinite. But other than that... Actually, is it infinite, or does it only respawn when it's upside up? Either way, it's not on fire. What are you talking about? SCP-420 is a liquid that only messes up when you, drink it. Yes, okay, so it wouldn't pour out forever, infinitely. It waits until you turn the bottle upside out, and then some more liquid fills it. So it's essentially infinite, it's just that it doesn't pour out forever. Intern Siren, thank you for donating again to say, this anomaly is heading back to the pocket dimension. Well, we are at the end of stream, and so it's a good time to get some rest and wait for tomorrow's stream. Intern Everything, welcome to Site 42 staff, thank you for subscribing. And, Boiled One, thank you for sending a doubloon to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I'm sure they'll spend it well. Although, from what I've heard about you, they probably shouldn't be accepting things from you, now that I think about it. But Site 42 staff here at the end of stream. As always, as a tradition around here, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs. Of course, I'm not going to tell you that my favorites are the ones I personally wrote. That would be narcissism. But you can read the SCPs I wrote over at the Sherm's author page in Site 42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can read the SCPs I wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects to. And while you're on my author page, one tab over, you'll find a list of links. Links that people in the chat ask about all the time. Links about chaos, anarchy, discord going on in the world. And when they ask about these links, I tell them where the links are. There's a whole speech at the end of the stream, but they just don't think about it. It's so sad for them. They're not smart enough to figure it out. But you, Containment Hazard Assessment Team, you are smart enough. Very smart enough. And that's why you're going to find those links. And while you're at them, you can, of course, become a Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do a Ko-Fi or YouTube Super Chat to donate to us one at a time. Either way, we appreciate your generosity. That's how we keep the lights on here at Site 42 for myself and for the rest of the Site 42 team. And if you can't donate, do not fret, because you can be a member of Mobile Task Force Site 42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, make memes and art and clips and edits and shit posts about Site 42 and the SCP projects we support, the SCP authors and artists of the SCP Wiki, the SCP filmmakers, game devs, animators, podcasters, merch makers, etc. You help us by helping them to make bigger and better SCP projects. So we greatly appreciate your help, especially currently with SCP Containment Breach, the movie. Remember, SCP Containment Breach, the movie could be the next internet to movie theater creation, but only if we do our job and get it funded. Don't you want to see this on the big screen? I know I do. And so go donate to it, as well as share it everywhere. SCP the movie. Hashtag SCP the movie. Let's get this out there, people. The more the better. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one. It's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999, 304, 308-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, content warning on the last one's a rough read. What size jacket do I wear? Intern, Kill Switch Engages Cool. I have not heard that name in ages. That was one of the first concerts I ever went to. I saw My Chem, Kill Switch Engage, Autopilot Off opening for Story of the Year. Wow. Blast from the past. So I wear a large jacket. Large. Jacket? Why do you want to know my jacket size? I'm getting concerned. Also, before I do my final outro, I see here, Malachi, thank you for sending a doubloon to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I'm sure they'll spend it wisely. And then Beecham, thank you for sending a doubloon. I'm sure they will continue to spend it wisely. And then between the two of you, Malachi sent 9 doubloons total. Guys, you are rolling in doubloons today. I hope you are spending them well. And then Carrie Beecham, you sent Sparkles. Boiled One sent a doubloon. Malachi sent a star. Breekle sent a star. So your ending is a 2-star team. You were so close. But, Site 42 staff, congratulations. You made it to the end of stream. This has been another Dr. Sherman's Office Hours, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. Or I would, except DJ just made you guys you were a 2-star team, and then DJ sent 3, so that makes you a 5-star team. And then Carrie Beecham sent you back to a 1-star team. And then Freddie Rule sent you a doubloon. So you got more doubloons at least. Breakles, that makes it 2 stars. Keeping this here so I remember the number. All right. I think we did it. I think we're done. Breakles, thank you for sending a doubloon. Freddie, thank you for sending a star. Beecham, thank you for sending a star. Breakles, thank you for sending a star. Is anyone going to push it over or are we going to stay? And we're going to push it over, we're going to stay. We're going to push it over. We're going to stay. Ah, we pushed it over to 1 again. You were so close. You were so close. Okay. Okay. 2. And then 3. 2. That's 3. That's 3 stars. 3 stars. That's 4. 5. Can I go to the credit song? Are we good? I think we're good. 1, 2. I'm going to the credits song. 2 stars. I'm going to the credits. Site 42 staff, be safe, be well, and secure, contain, protect. Take care of yourselves. Do the thing. You're now 5 stars. I see Malachi, Beecham, and Freddie made it 5 stars. Hopefully you can make it through the credits still. You keep me standing tall. You help me through it all. I'm always strong when you're beside me. I have always needed you. I could never make it alone. I am the man who will fight for your honor. I'll be the hero you've been dreaming of. We'll live forever, knowing together that we did it all for the glory of love. The credit song is Glory of Love by Peter Cetera. Site 42 staff, be safe, be well. Mr. Flowers, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you at the next video or stream. Intern Hunter Mark, if you want more Shermamilton, the Shermusical, we're going to need to do another membership drive tomorrow. Remind me and